Hi, I'm Christina Rendon, and I'm here at the Raw Living Expo with Dan McDonald, the Liferegenerator. This is a really exciting moment. There's so many great speakers here, and Dan, I've been looking forward to talking to you because you are an expert in detoxification, you're an expert in raw foods, and you've helped so many people heal, and you're just on the journey yourself, sharing with so many people, and it's inspiring. I'd love to hear a little bit about your top tips to detoxify and your top reasons to detoxify, because you have a purpose behind your journey on this. You've let go of so many things.
Journey. I have my personal little journey, and which comes from within, and then I've got the awesome ability to be of service to people that may have accumulated more debris in their vehicle, their physical body, than they're comfortable with at that time, or the accumulation of that debris may be causing them health concerns, what the doctors in the medical establishment call diseases, or the just dis-ease. You're in a state of dis-ease because the energy is no longer flowing through your system the way that it should, whether that's in this form of electricity, or whether that's in the form of the blood flow or the living water that flows through your organism. So what I try to do is to help people to eliminate some of those blockages and occlusions by making sure that they're hydrating with the best water possible. And that's so bringing in that fresh water is absolutely essential to begin the process of detoxification, so that the sediment that is released can be released through the urine in the form of dissolved mucus, if you will. Obviously, I would encourage anyone who's listening to stop putting in those mucus-forming, high sediment, high metabolic residue type foods. And those are more of the cooked, processed foods. We go from super high processed boxed junk with colorants and additives and preservatives and hydrogenated oils all the way over to healthier cooked foods. And then we can move into more of the fresh living foods, fruits, vegetables, soaked nuts, and seeds. And so we bring in the water, not necessarily first, but moving in that direction, and then also checking out and making sure that there's plenty of oxygen in the system. And that begins to release and lower the viral load, as the viruses and the bacteria that are feeding off that metabolic waste are able to proliferate. And then they cause a lot of havoc with their excrement. Is actually the biggest problem with the viruses and the bacteria and the parasites and things like that live within that waste. And the food that we're eating, which is the higher processed food, is actually the food that is leaving behind that waste matter. So we're flushing that out. Does it make sense that water is a solvent? And that's the reason why when I put people on detoxification protocols, I'm using the fruits and the green juices. Those are my tools. I use the fruits because they've got the astringent properties like lemons and pomegranates, the antioxidants, of course, but they've also got minerals which create electricity. But they've also got my favorite part about the fruits. Not only is the electricity and the ease of digestibility and the living water, but also just the fruit acids, which help to dissolve and break up that sediment, that mucus that is really built up within people's stomachs and their lymphatic system, and their reproductive organs get clogged up, and their heart gets occluded, and there's stiffness and pain and bloating all throughout the body because there's such a buildup of debris. So when we talk about detox, we're really just talking about breaking up, dissolving, and emulsifying the accumulations of a lifetime of the foods that are not necessarily physiologically appropriate for a living organism. So the higher water foods, like the fruits and vegetables, are going to begin to get the colon cleaned out and start to break up the deposits and loosen up the lymphatics, which is a water-based fluid. So the more water you drink and the more high water foods like fruits and vegetables that you eat, the more the thinner the lymph is, the more that it can drain through the urine, through the kidneys, and be released, so that you can really just begin to release all that debris that's blocking your energy flow. And you can begin this process with hydration and oxygenation so that you can start to get energy back into your system and release the chronic fatigue. People are just tired.
Yeah.
They eat too much, and when they overeat, it doesn't digest and it leaves a lot of residues. And so we're trying to help them to get over their diseases by cleansing them out.
I think that that's incredible. I really do believe that changing our water, like fluoride-free water, if we can, like natural spring water or just restructured water, alkaline water, it really does improve the quality of our lives. It changes our mind state. It changes the way our bodies are running. As you're saying, it helps cleanse us. By cleansing, it's incredible how raw foods lets us reach this amazing state at most times. Like, we end up feeling pretty good most of the time. Our immune system just starts boosting. We have more energy. I really think it's cool that you're recommending the fruits to get in there and start cutting, and the juices to stay hydrated, because the minerals in the juices are just really great. And
the chlorophyll, which is another thing which helps to neutralize the odors from the putrefaction that's taking place in a 98.6 degree body. You've got this, these oils and these grains and these animal fats that may have gotten, backed up into the system, and now they're fermenting and putrefying. And so to drink the green juices is to help to neutralize some of the odors that come from that, and to help to create an environment where those bacteria and viruses can no longer thrive. They're anaerobic creatures, and we want to bring in the aerobic, with this more oxygen. And the chlorophyll carries the oxygen in the blood into the deep recesses of the body.
Wow, so you're teaching about nutrition and detoxifying, but it's a lot about getting in touch with the breath, and a lot about getting in touch with proper water. And our bodies are made of 80% water, and our earth has like 80% water. Well, at most, our brain's like 80 and our body's probably 75, but I think that's really interesting. And you brought up minerals and conductivity. And I love minerals because they are kind of like a beauty secret. They kind of like help with hair color and skin. And what else do minerals do? Do you know? What?
Minerals are actually cofactors for enzyme function. So they have to be present in order for vitamins to be utilized by the body, in order for the enzymes to be activated to continue to carry out their function, their process, which is, millions of metabolic processes by little enzymes, which are little proteins, which are cofactors for all the cells to do their job. So the minerals got to be there for the enzymes to function, for the cells to function, for the cells to communicate with each other. So it starts at these very minute, invisible levels of the electromagnetic energy. So it's like electricity is the base, electrons, and then those minerals, which are frequencies of light, are formulated from the electrons. Then the minerals activate the enzymes, and the enzymes activate cellular communication. So without we have the electromagnetic energy, it's the sun, it's the oxygen, it's just the electricity of life itself, which is ever present and eternal. Yes. But if we're missing the minerals, then that electromagnetic energy, that life energy, can't really do its job within the living organism. So the living organism begins to shut down, and that's when we get tired and old and wrinkly, and we lose our hair, and we get decrepit, and our bones dry up.
Yeah, so like you're really kind of teaching about the truth of who we are in a way, because
on the level of the laws of nature. Like there's the laws of nature, and then there's the laws of consciousness. And some people go just straight to the consciousness, and I don't care if I get fat, give me a cheeseburger, I'll just pray over it. And then there's other people that they're like, who gives a crap about God? It's not real. Give me the scientific proof of God. And so then you've got two camps, You've got the spirituals that are out there floating around, but they can eat anything, although they're overweight, eating at church, eating donuts and coffee, destroying their body. And then there's the other people that don't believe in God. And then there's the rare few who love this body and honor this life and believe that it's an important receptive unit to be able to experience the light and the truth about God, and to use this body as a vehicle to serve that light. So we enhance the body and we treat it as though it's our vehicle. You can travel in a Pinto or you can travel in a Ferrari. And the Pinto is going to come from the cheeseburgers and the fries, and then you make it to about 47 and then you have a heart attack and they got to cut you open and pry all the plaque out of your heart. Or you can just look at the laws of nature and you can go, the kumquats are on the trees, the oranges, the herbs growing off the earth, and we can use those foods and live in a Ferrari and then channel that divine energy, and we can say to ourselves with no pain in our body, you know, oh Lord, use me for your purpose. And then your vehicle functions well. Then you can teach yoga, you can run around and stay up with the kids at night while they have diarrhea. You can go down to the soup kitchen and make soup. You can give a massage to somebody that's hurting. You can give some money to someone who's on the street and homeless and hungry. Your vehicle, this thing is very useful and practical in order to serve the divine.
A lot of this is about reaching our full potential, but it's also about, when we come to that place, this desire of helping others reach their full potential and helping others experience that. And it's what you're sharing is some people are not going to take to the health, but some people will see it, and they'll see it even if they're in a healthy state, or they'll see it if they're in an unhealthy state, and they know that they have the possibility to transform. And I really like how you have devoted your life to learning how to cleanse and learning how to balance and learning how to reach emotional clarity, like spiritual clarity, release from addictions and relationships, just working out relationships. I like how you're kind of working on all different areas. Yes.
I am, for sure. To this day, I'm very much in the mix with everyone else on all that stuff. I might come here and be the guy on stage and I'm having a good day with a nice clean shirt. But, not when the camera's off, it doesn't mean I'm walking on water. So I am working on and using raw foods and health for a better relationship. I am working on using those tools for more abundance, more connection with the divine, more ability to serve and love and be devoted, to also have more fun and have more energy. And so I'm constantly just working on improvement. You have a choice. It's this way or the easy way. And a lot of us just go this way. But there's an effortless upwards by internal choice. To choose. You're going to say, you have this choice. I can either choose like this huge money with no integrity, or I can choose love and integrity. And you might think temporarily over here you take this huge check, but it's not really an integrity with your higher purpose. You just sold yourself out and you just went that way. But if you say, I don't care about your $1 million check, over here, this integrity, it's an internal integrity. It's a very effortless, subtle decision that you make every day to either choose the highest road or not, or to get sucked in by the titillations of the temporal life.
Yeah, there are different types of abundance, and the true abundance would be listening to that, not the temporary abundance. You're talking a lot about like setting an intention, like sitting there and asking like, oh Lord, use me for your highest good, which is really powerful. And you're talking about setting an intention of creating your life and choosing how to create an upward spiral. And I'd really like to know, how did you transition into 100% raw, and how did that help your spiritual practice, and how did your emotional and inner work help with your raw foods, and how do you maintain like in a sort of like releasing addictions and a more like aware and good heart, so where you actually like yourself and you're treating yourself beautifully? And I'd love to hear about that, because I know that's really important for all of us on this journey of transforming with raw foods and health.
Well, to get to 100% raw, I had to take the fat is bad label off, number one. And number two, I had to supplement with minerals, through the Shilajit. And there's other mineral supplementations, but shoring up all those deficiencies of the minerals, because the soil's just not what it used to be. And then also bringing in the omega-3 fats to make sure that, because those are the essential nutrients, and that's why they're called essential, because your body doesn't produce them. And so you need to make sure that you've got those essential nutrients. And then once the body has been fed by those elements and can keep itself it knows, you know. And then once it has all those essential elements, then that mechanism in your brain that's always like eating can be shut off. And then so I brought in the fats and I brought in the minerals, and I've been 100% raw ever since. Before that, it was a lot of fruits and juices, and I just never quite got grounded and balanced. So bringing in the fat has been very helpful for the times when I do need to be a little bit more stabilized, like at an airport or traveling. I found out I would always try to be traveling along the road, driving for 8 hours in a car all day on watermelons, you know, and it's just like, and then I learned that, no, you take a couple of avocados and some lettuce and you wrap it up in a nori wrap with some dulse, heavy minerals and some fats, and you're grounded, and then you easily drive for 4 or 5 hours calmly. The fat is very calming. The fruits are really energizing and cleansing, but sometimes you need to be just calm and satiated, and the fats are very good for that, and the minerals will ground you as well into the earth. So learning how to use food for appropriate conditions, like I go to the airport, but before I do, I'll knock back a nice meal with some fats in it to protect me from the craziness of the airports and the radiation and all that other stuff that's going on, just to protect the system, to protect the cells, and the cells need essential fats in order to be permeable by the nutrients. It's the essential fats allow for enzymes to communicate in certain ways, but if that membrane dries up and it's your essential fatty acid deficient, a lot of the nutrients can't function and the cells can't function, and then the internal cell integrity is compromised, and a lot of the energy and knowledge and information that your cells need to be activated can't get through the cell wall. So we're trying to really have a nice, well-rounded dietary program, especially on the raw foods, and then people should try to do their best to eat as much fresh, wholesome food, because you're not going to get what you need from the boxed, packaged, and canned foods. It's not in there. And so you've got some carbohydrates and you just filled your stomach, but you didn't get any minerals, and you didn't get any phytonutrients, and you didn't get any vitamins, and you didn't get any bioavailable essential fats. So your body's starving to death as you're eating pounds and pounds and boxes and cans of and restaurant full of food, all you can eat bar, and you're stuffed out to here and you're still hungry. So it's the raw living foods, nutrient dense, that are really going to be what's going to shore up all of your your body's needs, what it needs to thrive.
That's incredible. I really appreciate you sharing all of that about the minerals and how that helps us feel more fulfilled and satisfied, and keeps us from those cravings.
Minerals is what makes you satisfied. Period. People that are overweight, man, just start drinking the green juice and get some mineral supplements like humic and fulvic or shilajit or whatever to get the full spectrum of the bioavailable plant minerals, which all of a sudden, I've seen people like right in my house, they come over, they're haggard and all busted up. One shot of minerals, it's like zunk, because they haven't had it. Now they're all of a sudden instantaneously, goes right into the blood, goes right into all the cells, and it shores them up. And all of a sudden they're like balanced. Yeah. And they've been in balance for so long.
I know I started adding minerals to my juices, and I've been doing seaweeds and stuff, but I can feel the difference too, just of how satisfied I feel. Yep. It is giving our body what we need. And I really love all these topics that we've talked about, serving, and this is an opportunity to reach people and help people with their health. And I really appreciate the opportunity to interview you. It's really insightful and really informational. You're just really educated, and I want to commend you for your sense of peace that you have, that I experience when I'm speaking to you. So just thank you for reaching that sense of connection to allow me to reach that place, and we just hope that everybody else is experiencing that as we talk to them. And thank you. We're here with Dan McDonald, and I'm Christina, and have a great day. We love you. Okay.
Peace. Thank you so much.